Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Brev. Welcome to another MLB The Show 22 video. We have got another new program in the game today. It is called the Dog Days of Summer, where you can obtain some new bosses. So in this video, I'm going to be going over every card and giving my opinions on which one you should take out of the boss pack. This program does only last 13 days. However, you can get the boss pack at only 200,000 XP, so it shouldn't be too hard to knock out if you can just play a little bit over the next 2 weeks. And for anyone wondering, the program is capped at 500,000 XP, and some of the goodies along the way include another All-Star Game and Home Run Derby pack, and they did put one Face of the Franchise pack for each division, which I think is a W because these cards were getting insanely expensive. Some of the ones that nobody took were at like 30k. Yeah, Real Muto's at 30k, so kind of injecting those back into the market I think is good. Anyway, let's go over the cards. So in the Henchman Pack, there's 5 cards. You will only get to pick 3 of them, so if you want all 5 for collections, you'll have to buy 2 extra. To be perfectly honest, all of these cards are pretty bad except for Percival. So let's take a look at Troy Percival. This card is actually pretty decent, pretty much on par with Ryan Helsley, even with the pitch mix. So not the worst right-handed option in the world, actually pretty good. Troy Percival historically hasn't been used very much in ranked, and I think this is the best card he's ever gotten attribute-wise, so might be a decent option because it's entirely possible your opponent has never taken in at bat against a Troy Percival card. Is he a top 5 variety? I'm not sure, probably not, but easily the best card out of this Henchman Pack. This is really just collection fodder. Let's take a look at the other cards just really quickly. We've got Launch Day hitting Andrelton Simmons. Harold Baines is actually pretty decent too. Kind of looks similar to Votto from last program, but obviously he's an outfielder with pretty poor defense, and outfield is really deep. Someone like Yordan Alvarez is just miles away better than this card, so can't see this card seeing much use. Keith Hernandez, the slappy boy, just not enough power. And then Robin Roberts, you know, Launch Day hits per 9, K per 9. Just not a good card. Next, let's take a look at this 98 second half Mickey Mantle, which, by the way, every single person is going to be able to get this card at 150,000 XP. He's not part of any choice pack. You just get him no matter what, so you don't even have to make a decision here. As far as how the card looks, this card looks okay to good. Obviously, the glaring weakness of this card is the contact versus right. 77 is really low for this time of the year, especially with the right-handed pitching we've gotten recently. So, otherwise, card is pretty good. I like Mickey Mantle cards a ton. I use this card every year. But 77 contact versus right is pretty rough. Won't affect you as much on All-Star, I'll say that. This card is probably an All-Star bandit. Pretty good on All-Star. Hall of Fame is going to be a lot tougher. Legend, borderline unusable versus righties. So, you know, decent card, free card. I don't think he's cracking anyone's God Squad lineup unless you're a huge Mantle fan and you play on All-Star exclusively. So, it's okay. Might throw him in some events. Maybe you can parallel up that contact a little bit. Not the fastest Mantle either. Gonna play pretty average defense too. Just gold defense in center with 78 speed. Kind of feel obligated to just play this guy in the corner outfield, which drops him down to silver. So, I don't know. Kind of a jack of all trades, master of none, but he's not the jack of contact versus right. All right, and finally we get to the boss pack. So you're only going to get one of these bosses throughout the program. Again, it's at 200,000 XP. All 99s, which is pretty cool. We're into the Dog Days of Summer, as the program suggests, and we are getting 99 overalls now, which I like. Let's start off with Johnny Bench. I feel like Johnny Bench disappointment is becoming an annual thing. This card honestly is pretty decent. But there's a lot of other catcher options in the game that we've already had for a while that are just as good as better. The first comparison I wanted to make is Diego Cartaya from the Toolbox Pack, the 99 overall Future Stars. So Bench is 196, 105, 105. And if we go look at Cartaya, he's got him beat in every single hitting stat. And, you know, P3 Cartaya even gets the Diamond Defense too if you care about that. So, in my opinion, Johnny Bench is already outclassed by a card that's been in packs for a couple weeks now. Additionally, if we go take a look at Mike Piazza, Piazza in general is just better offensively too, and Piazza's been in the game for multiple months. So, personally, I don't care about catcher defense a whole lot. It's already hard enough to steal in this game, and people don't even do it very often. And poor defensive catchers have blocked just fine for me too. So, even comparing someone like Bench to Piazza, I don't really see a reason to even use Bench. The people that are going to be into Johnny Bench are the people that are just wanting to try something new. Maybe you've done well with him over the years, or maybe you really care about defense behind the plate. It does have great positional versatility, but unfortunately the positional versatility occurs at all positions that are the most stacked in the game. So you probably are very rarely ever going to play this guy not at catcher, because first, third, and outfield are like the most stacked positions. So I don't know, this card is honestly pretty average. For a 99 overall, not exciting at all. I won't be taking this card. Next we have a 99 Cal Ripken Jr. from a 1984 Retro Finest. Just gotta say, the Retro Finest card art continues to look amazing. Cal Ripken, another guy that looks pretty good but doesn't blow me away. Another comparison you could make is to Dansby Swanson. This card looked exactly like Dansby Swanson when I first saw him. A bit more contact, similar power. Obviously Ripken is 99s across the board essentially with his fielding, but the problem with Ripken and his fielding historically is his speed. Speed actually helps you play insane defense at shortstop. If you have fielding and speed, you're going to play a lot better defense than someone like Ripken, who has amazing fielding stats but a little bit slow. 69 is kind of fast for a Ripken card, but comparing to Dansby Swanson, who has been out for a while, pretty much identical hitting stats, and Swanson still gets diamond defense, but he's a lot faster, 85 speed at parallel 2, so Swanson comes with 91 fielding, 83 speed stock. So maybe you're tired of Swanson, maybe you just want to try something new, maybe you didn't even like Swanson. So Ripken, honestly, this card is pretty good. For a shortstop card, I know he's going to get a lot of flack. I know people don't like Cal Ripken cards usually year to year, but for what he is, this card is pretty good. You know, 90 power is more than I was expecting, and 69 speed is more than I was expecting. So this is a decent option. Unfortunately, does only play shortstop. Pretty good card though. And finally, let's end on Pedro Martinez, and I'm ending on him for a reason, as I'm sure you could guess. I think this is far and away easily the best choice in the pack. This card is absurdly good. This card, without question, for me, looking at him on paper, is the second best pitcher in the game. We finally got an amazing Pedro Martinez card. Don't let the fact that he doesn't have a sinker fool you. This card has 5 distinct pitch speeds, which is awesome. We got more hits per 9 than we did last year. Last year we got 102. This year we're at 109, which is great. Also, hits per 9 across the board are pretty much lower, so that makes him better relatively. And here's the kicker. This Pedro Martinez has outlier on his four-seam fastball. So this is a starting pitcher card that throws 102 on his four-seam, 95 on the cutter, 88 on the slider, 81 on the changeup, and 78 on the curveball. Again, 5 incredibly distinct pitch speeds. I don't know that we've ever seen a pitcher card like this. The best comparison I can make is Nolan Ryan, but even then it's not a great comparison because this card has a cutter and slider, which Nolan obviously does not. But the reason I bring up Nolan Ryan is the drastic pitch speed difference between four-seam and changeup. So this Pedro's going to be throwing four seams at 102 and changeups at, like, he can bottom out at 79. But the difference is Pedro, obviously iconic for his changeup, threw debatably the best changeup of all time in real life. So he's got 99 control, 99 break on the changeup on top of the outlier fastball, and you can see every one of his pitches has 88 break or higher. I know people are excited for this card, and I think people are still underselling it. This card is completely insane. This is pretty much everything you could want out of a starting pitcher card, even going as far down to the slider being thrown hard, which is the better version of a slider. Again, you're looking at up to 23 mile-an-hour difference between four-seam and changeup, just like Nolan Ryan, but this card is going to have much better control on the pitches and has a lot more in the repertoire. Such a good card, man. I encourage every single one of you to take this guy out of your pack and add him to your rotation ASAP. This card is going to make your team so much better than whatever fifth starter you had before. And of course, he's going to be my choice out of this pack. I can't wait to use him. I envision myself probably super fracturing this card to get him up to 114, 113. This card might be in my rotation all year. So that's going to do it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope it helped you make a decision for this program and the boss pack. You know, not as tough as a decision as previous programs for me personally, but maybe you're a huge Cal Ripken or Johnny Bench fan. Anyway, appreciate you guys watching all the way to the end. Let me know down low how you feel about these bosses, how you feel about Pedro Martinez specifically. I am very excited. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. I'll see you in the next one.